What do you say we start with the Lakers win? Was it the Lakers win or the Warriors loss? It's a great question. No, it's a let's do first take, right? You know, that's what a first take meeting I feel is like.
I always feel like that's the name of the segment that producers are like, man, what do we name this thing today? And they're like, I can't think of anything. Just say, did the Lakers win or did the Warriors lose? And then they'll take it from there.
Lonnie Walker comes off the bench and just cooks Steph Curry. Cooks in general, cooks Steph Curry. Has anyone seen Jordan Poole? Let's put on APB for Jordan Poole. They actually had the local NBC Bay Area reporter, because I guess they couldn't have cameras in the locker room. She gave a verbal description of how he kind of mumbled some of his answers to them about how he can't make a shot. Anthony Davis makes a couple of great defensive plays, sort of a nondescript offensive play. Steph Curry plays really well until misses 2 shots, but then the weird one was got the ball on a jump ball, and he must have thought he had a teammate behind him because he just launches the ball over his head instead of calling a timeout. Warriors would have had the ball down 3 with a timeout. And then you have Draymond Green, and the last Draymond Green turnover, that was a called play. I don't think he was supposed to hand off to Steph. It's called a hammer action play where you're looking for Klay Thompson, the weak side corner, and the Lakers, because they don't have to help on Draymond, they just switched it and snuffed it out, and he threw it right to the Lakers. But he had an earlier turnover where he has a wide open layup and instead throws the ball to nobody. Let's first give credit where it's due. Do people know how hard it is to do what Lonnie Walker did? Like Lonnie Walker, he's never gotten any playoff run before. A guy who's a really talented scorer, okay? Really talented scorer, who had fallen out of the rotation, gets a little bit of run in the blowout game 2, and because they're getting nothing from Dennis Schroeder. I mean, the guy who's happiest for Lonnie Walker playing well has to be Dennis Schroeder. Is there a harder player to watch? The Jordan Poole of the Lakers is Dennis Schroeder, right? Like close game, everybody's playing hard, behind the back pass to nobody. Close game, everybody's playing hard. He was bad. These things can be, okay? These things can be both be true. The Lakers can win the game, and the officiating can be horrific. Horrific. You have 3 complete and utter flops by the Lakers. Flops by the Lakers. And yet the Warriors still had plenty of opportunities. As bad as the flops were, so too was the shot selection of Klay Thompson, some of the decisions of Steph Curry, the lack of confidence in looking at the basket by Draymond Green, and the fact that they're out there playing kind of 4-on-5 at times because they don't know who that 5th player should be. And then Andrew Wiggins, good player, just kind of a blend player. How about Lonnie Walker in the 4th quarter scores 2 points less than the Warriors? 6 of 9 from the field, makes a 3, makes both free throws. And then LeBron makes all 4 free throws. Couple things. Warriors not done, series far from over. Okay, a couple reasons why. The first thing is, if you've been watching, you know the Lakers are gassed. Gassed. And one day off in between series games does not help you rehab. And while I think the idea of leaving him home is laughable, I do believe that Mike Greenberg, who suggested they not bring LeBron James, he ain't that far off. And as much as you can go, hey, it's 3-1, Lakers, all they got to do is win 1 home game, it's a wrap. Like, okay. That game was very much in the balance. The Warriors up double digits in the 3rd quarter, had the lead in the 4th quarter, and Lonnie Walker bailed them out. Game 1 that the Lakers won, okay, Warriors again had to feel good about it, and Poole took a shot, which was a bit too deep, but considering he hit 6 threes, wasn't a terrible shot. The Warriors are going to keep doing what they do with some slight adjustments, and the Lakers, they just got to win one game. Here's LeBron James talking about Lonnie Walker.
How special he was in the fourth quarter. He had 15 of our 27 points. In my career, my 20-year career, I've seen a lot of young guys kind of lose confidence in themselves or lose themselves if they, been in a rotation or started or had big minutes on the team, and then they get taken out of the lineup because of certain situations or circumstances, whatever the case may be, and they just completely lose themselves. For him to be a young guy in this league and just consistently every single day showed up, been a professional, great energy, high character. It showed why he was able to throw everything to the side and just be him tonight. In that moment, the game ball definitely goes to him. We don't win without him.
No question. I don't think anybody questioned that. And can we be honest? He cooked Steph Curry. I love Steph, and Steph did some amazing things last night. But here's the difference in Steph and James Harden. Steph tries to play defense. He's just not very good at it. It's hard to be small in the NBA. It just is. You have to be so incredibly tough and defensive-minded. It's also really hard to do as much as, and here's where the comparison to James Harden is. When you have the ball that much, or you're constantly in motion that much offensively, you need time to take a break defensively. And you can't take a break because the Lakers were hunting him down. LeBron had 2 where he just kind of drove in and tried to draw the foul. Anthony Davis was playing so hard defensively, he couldn't do much on offense. It was really Austin Reeves stepped into 2 threes, and then you have Lonnie Walker, who still had juice in the tank to make those shots. It's absolutely fascinating to watch. This is a fascinating basketball series. Here's Anthony Davis on Lonnie Walker.
I know you said last game that he always jumped to these moments of him planning playoffs and big games, and that was really it. Just telling him this is what he was built for. The moment he's been waiting for, and he shined. He did what he was supposed to do. He did what he knew he could. Staying ready. It was a big time performance for him tonight. So we just wanted to embrace him and let him know that.
I thought LeBron said it really well, because one of the things this series is about, right, is Jordan Poole's lack of any sort of production. And then you have Lonnie Walker coming out of nowhere to give you massive production. And LeBron talked about how guys can lose their confidence. It's a real thing, right? It's a real thing. There's also a real thing where, what Steph Curry, I'm sure you've seen the stat now, right, where to win or tie a game under 45 seconds in playoff games, he hasn't made a shot. Of course, now between 45 seconds and a minute, he's made a ton of shots. I don't think Steph isn't clutch. I think the difference is, look, Steph has evolved the game of the NBA where, for him especially, and some for others, shots that were previously considered bad shots. They were considered bad shots, not because you couldn't make them, but you would make a very low percentage of them. He has changed how we look at what a good shot and a bad shot is. But many of those same shots, when you're completely fatigued, end of a game, you got a hard matchup, and they're from 20 to 35 feet, you regress to the mean, and they become a bad shot. Don't believe me? The proof is in the statistical pudding. Right? The difference in Steph and the greats is he can't really get to the rim late in games sometimes. He can't get to the free throw line late in games sometimes. It's a really hard way to live. LeBron took a deep 3 in that game. Missed it badly. Missed some other shots around the rim. But he got 4 free throws, got to the line twice, made all of them. Steph gets to the line twice. He'll make all of them too. But if you make guys take contested jump shots over time with fatigue, the numbers don't lie. Yes, analytics are right throughout the totality of the game, but it's very hard for those analytics to play out as true when you get late in the game, you're 48 minutes in, you've been guarding, You got the best defender, a much bigger defender on you. Yes, there's pressure, but there's also fatigue. Yeah, John Ramos, you had something.
Don't you think Jordan Poole, the Lonnie Walker, Jordan Poole's kind of expected to be really good, and Lonnie Walker is not. Does that put pressure on Lonnie Walker now, like these next couple games, to rise to that same occasion, or is he just like a one-off deal and like, yeah, if he doesn't do it again, whatever?
I think if he doesn't do it again, whatever.
Okay.
You'd expect Schroeder to be a little bit better. Maybe you get something from D'Angelo Russell. Maybe it's kind of an ensemble cast of guys who you feel like, hey, man, we just need 15 from a couple of you guys combined, maybe one of you. Maybe one of you. I thought Steve Kerr made a couple mistakes there. When Curry got the ball, obviously he could have helped call a timeout with 3.8 seconds to go. Also, he could have gone zone. They didn't go zone late, where zone really worked well for them in the first game. Beyer, you were locked in. Oh, okay, we're having little issues with his mic. I mean, the whole thing is amazing. Do you think it's over? Do you think it's over, Jay Stu?
Oh, hell no. The Lakers did something last night that I don't think they've really done. They won a game that was would have really helped them. They've been a team that always seems to this season just lose that game that you hope that they win. They actually finished a deal last night, but that's the exception to the rule, right? This is coming back to Los Angeles.
Yeah. Well, again, if you look back at when the Cavs came back from 3-1 against the Warriors, you have to remember what all happened, right? First, Kyrie and LeBron went crazy. Obviously, Golden State has that. But additionally, two of those games actually were in Oakland, were they not? I believe two of them were in Oakland. One was in Game 6 was in Cleveland. And so you got, in this particular case, the Warriors potentially have 2 games in San Francisco. Winning one in LA will be really hard, but not impossible. I mean, look, here's how close the series is. Those are 3 awful calls, complete flop calls that helped the Lakers. Any of those calls go a different way, that's an additional possession for the Warriors. Any of them. I mean, do you really, is Lonnie Walker going to play that well? And you could say, okay, but maybe D'Angelo Russell plays better. What is LeBron going to have in the tank? What is Anthony Davis going to have in the tank? I mean, Game 5 becomes if the Warriors can win it handily, now Game 6 is the whole series. And I know that LeBron and the Cavs went into Oakland and won Game 7. But that was like a decade ago. He was a different dude. Kyrie was a different dude. Everything was different, dude.